It's been 100 days since Trump took office, 100 days that have quite literally rocked the world. It's hard to think about any aspect of geopolitics that have remained untouched by Trump's internal and external policies or statements. How would you characterize the beginning of this administration in terms of what we expected could happen and what actually did happen?
I think first we have to begin by recognizing how many lies Trump has told. He campaigned supposedly to end this horrific proxy war on Russia, a war that has cost us, the American people, us taxpayers, dearly. Some $350 billion of our money has gone, disappeared in the with the oligarchs and the bureaucracy of Zelensky. And Russia is advancing. Russia is stronger. Russia has now announced publicly that they have had troops from Pyongyang, from the Democratic Republic of People's Korea, North Korea, which I think signals that the BRICS nations, the multipolar nations, are standing up stronger than ever to U.S. unipolarity, U.S. dominance and hegemony. Trump is threatening more war every day. There's already a war on the people of Iran. We've seen all types of suspicious sabotage against Iran, whether it was under the Biden regime or the Trump regime. Our constitutional rights here are dwindling every day. Yesterday, there was a horrific incident where a innocent family in Oklahoma City, their doors were busted down by immigration officials, and they're going after anybody. We've seen innocent people deported to what some are calling Trump's first concentration camp, which is Bukele's maximum security dungeon. Um, Trump is a xenophobic, racist individual. He's not a strategist. He thinks he's free to do whatever he wants. So we're seeing big protests across the country with May 1st, May Day tomorrow, International Workers' Day. But it's certainly a moment for maximum mobilization and maximum unity from working class forces against across this country against the Trump regime.
Now, you were just mentioning the protest, and Trump arrives to this 100 days with a mark in its approval, with a dip in his approval across the country, with tariffs and migration policies, some you were just mentioning being among the most debated topics. How would you say that these policies have impacted the life of everyday citizens within the U.S.?
Everyday people who are black and brown, who are immigrants, live with an incredible fear. We saw this weekend the immigration officials raided a club in Colorado. Some 200 people were taken into custody. And afterwards, the Bukeles, the Trumps, the Elon Musk, they just brag. They think they can, they're even floating the idea of deporting American citizens to this dungeon in El Salvador. Um, the tax policies are regressive. They're against working class people. Well, Trump and his cronies, his cabinet of billionaires, the Jeff Bezos, the Elon Musk, they have more power every day. So this is naked, raw class warfare on the American people. We're seeing, first of all, we never had democracy in this country. So it's not that there's a democracy that's being shredded, but the limited vestiges, the remnants of whatever democracy we had. We see the attacks on the Department of Education. We see the attacks on all types of different social programs, more and more threats against Social Security. How many of our parents and grandparents and elders depend on Social Security? And this is not going to stop, as Trump says and brags. This is just the first 100 days. So he's saying he is just getting started. So more important than ever to have united resistance.
Now, there's a lot to cover in terms of international politics, from the trade war with China to deportations to third countries that have called for unconstitutional claims and also threats regarding other countries' sovereignties. For example, the case of Panama and its canal. What do you think is the most relevant shift that the Trump's coming to power means for world politics? As an international analyst, Danny, what are you particularly looking at?
What I'm looking at is how, in the military realm, it's too early for us to talk about a true multipolar resistance. If we truly had a strong, robust, united multipolarity, then the genocide would be halted against the Palestinian people. The Israeli Western colonial project would be halted. The Israelis continue to receive more weapons than ever from Germany, from the US, from England. All of these colonial powers are complicit. Not just complicit, they're the ones coordinating this colonial Holocaust. But certainly the Korean troops being in the theater of war in defense of Russian sovereignty is some type of step forward. I don't think we've really seen that in this way, and the Russians are now saying it publicly. The Russians are saying, well, if you can have all of your mercenaries and you can occupy Haiti with your Kenyan mercenaries, and you can try to throw the combined military might of the entire capitalist collective West against Russia in Ukraine, then the multipolar nations can also stand up. We have to look at this trade war. What is the actual effect of the trade war? It means that the Asian countries are consolidating. China's gonna find Japan, Japan's gonna find Korea. They're gonna continue to find one another so that they can avoid these preposterous, massive tariffs. And who's going to most suffer from the tariffs here in the US? It's us. We're not going to be able to buy many products that before were cheaper for us. So it'll take some time to see exactly how it impacts us. But often Trump is all bark and no bite. He's had to walk back a lot of these tariffs. But we do see China and Russia leading on the international stage, even if us here in the American public, we hear nothing but a demonization campaign against all of these different countries. But these countries are establishing more and more unity every day, and this is to the chagrin of the U.S. ruling class.
Thank you so much, as usual, for joining us in